Hey, you're about to get a lobotomy. An entire generation is about to get a lobotomy by social media. What is going on in our world? Attention deficit disorder, ADD. I researched that topic with all of my neurological knowledge, and my knowledge tell me something. I detect something really weird in our society right now. More and more kids being diagnosed by psychiatrists, very experienced psychiatrists, are really aware about the modern world, saying that you and your child have ADD. All of the persons have ADD. Everyone has attention deficit disorder. We all fucked. And I wonder, what is the reason behind that thing? What happened? Are we born with damaged brains in modern time? What happened to our brain? Why our brain has malfunction? Is it about chemical imbalance? I guess not. When an ADD patient tries to focus to a thing, usually our prefrontal cortex thinking area of brain must be activated. But in ADD patients, when they tries to focus into a thing more and try hard to focus, their brain says that I unplugged the prefrontal cortex. Prefrontal cortex activity decreases instead of increasing. It in prefrontal cortex deactivated. Why? Is it a malfunction, chemical imbalance? What is going on in this area? My friend in Haydar cafe told me a story about this topic that she read in a book about this brain disorders, etc. that have a really funny story. The author of the book wrote a good example about that. A man who had a problem with his wife. Wife is always complaining about you don't listening to me, you are not understanding me, and then one day he go to a doctor and doctor says you have ADD, but only when your wife starts to talk with you and tell you something, your prefrontal cortex activity decreases. Your prefrontal cortex unactivated. When your wife specifically tries to talk about something to you, your brain deactivated. Why? Is it chemical imbalance? What is going on? The ADD patients are not so bad for giving attention to things. They are only have bad attention spans on certain things like mathematics, school, or some boring thing like writing an article. They are not bad at playing video games. They are really good at watching Netflix, like some dopaminergic things. What is going on here? Is it a broken brain or is it something else? It starts to come into my mind, and I think that it may be because of our motivation system, motivation calculation system. Let me tell you about that. This information is really important. You need to understand it. But I need to understand this thing is extremely important right now. We all need to understand this thing. Dopamine detox, etc. Everyone is talking about that, but no one understands it really and giving the enough attention to save all of our life. The motivation system is the part of our mechanism of our brain that controlling all of our life with dopamine, etc. all of the chemicals. Our motivation system thinking like that. I am in nature. I am in a scarce environment. I need to save energy. And I have a deer in the cave. I have a cave and I have a deer. It cooked. It's really delicious. I can smell. And you, prefrontal cortex, you conscious brain, you are talking about running 10 kilometers for a day for nothing, for 100 dopamine. But I have 10,000 dopamine in my fingertips. I have a video game which is really have so much dopamine. Tens of hundreds of thousands of dopamine I have right now in my fingers. And you are talking about going to the gym, studying math for hours. Why would I spend my energy, my precious energy upon this bullshit? I have dopamine. I have a jackpot, bro. What are you talking about? Your brain is thinking like that. And how can you convince your brain in this situation? Your brain talking about, hey bro, I have a jackpot. I have a gold mine. Why would I go through a hardship? Why would I spend energy? I have to save energy because I am programmed to save energy. Don't you understand me? But also, brain knows that it needs to modify itself for the environment. Prefrontal cortex evolved for this reason. And your brain is talking about that, telling you that, hey bro, I know that, I calculated everything, and I'm controlling your life. Sorry, because I am the big brain. I'm the big boss here, you know? But you are the conscious brain. You know the world better than me right now. You know the environment we are in right now. But I don't know really really. So you need to consciously think and see your environment. And you need to convince me. You need to make me understand what is going on in this world. And I need to understand that this deer in my cave with tens of thousands of dopamine is actually poison, is actually gonna kill me. If your brain can understand that, if your brain can understand the logic and the danger and the real reason why you need to work on mathematics, it is going to be a lot easier. But at the same time, you need to block all of the dopaminergic, all of the video games, TikTok, YouTube, all of these thousands of dopamines. You need to cut them off. You need to make them impossible. The approach we need to take is never give a child a mobile phone if you want this child to stay away from this poison, toxic social media. You cannot just give a mobile phone. Look, this is a game, take it. And then say, no, it's actually bad. I'm taking away from you. He is going to cry. It's the same for yourself. Your brain is knowing that this thousands of dopamine is available and I can open it with my fingers with no effort. I don't need to make any effort to go through a web, search corn. I don't need to spend so much effort. I can do it and I can take hundreds of thousands of dopamine right now. Your brain is knowing that. You need to make it impossible. You need to make it impossible with ego. I made a video about this stuff. You need to make it impossible. You need to tell yourself that it is impossible. I am never going to do that. What kind of man does this kind of stuff? And you need to make action plans when you get into a lazy mood, when you get into a mood of, I need to play a video games. I just want to play a little game. You start to convince yourself in that mood. You are going down in the path of playing video games. You are in the playing video game mood. You are getting closer to the video game, and you need to gain awareness and open your eyes and gain awareness, and you need to implement an action plan that you previously created and take an action plan and take yourself out from the door, go for a walk, go something else instead of doing the bad thing, doing the dopaminergic thing. We need to reclaim our ability to think. If you don't do this, you are going to lose your ability to think. You are going to have a lobotomy. I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. Your prefrontal cortex activity is going to be decreased. You are going to try to focus to a thing and your brain is going to unplug your ability to think. Now you cannot give attention. You cannot focus. It is the trap of modern time. Be aware. That is the most serious and important topic of our modern time. Dopamine detox is really extremely important thing, and this discovery that I made that our prefrontal cortex is actually decreases. We are getting actual attention deficit disorder because of this modern time, and our brain motivation system calculates all of the dopaminergic things and all of the possibilities of our life and decide to play a video game and refuses to spend energy to your math exam. You need to cut them off. You need to make them impossible as soon as possible. Do not use technology. Do not use technology. I'm telling you that. Do not use technology. Do not go to the dark forest. The dark forest is really dangerous and not for you. You are not ready to use this technology. From 50 years from now, people are going to talk about us and they are going to say, wow, these people was really foolish. They got a lobotomy. They got lobotomy effects on themselves because they don't know how to use this technology and they use it. They have no clue about this danger. Poor people. Today is norm is using the internet. Take the phone, my child. Take the phone. Have fun. Are you wanna play a video game, boy? Okay, I'm going to buy you a PlayStation. Okay, all of the parents are sending their child to the dark forest with tons of predators, tons of lions, tigers, Facebook, Instagram waiting in there, sneaking, waiting for their prey. And you are going there and they are thinking about how we can take this person's attention for our systems and make him spend money on our product, spend time on our website. They are talking about that. All of the persons, even me, I am thinking about that. Don't went into this dark forest. You are not ready. Don't use technology. Just go. How to use it. Don't use it, but how to use it. If you are going to use internet, is a good and precious and really important thing in our modern life. But are you gonna have a lobotomy, bro? Literally. Are you going to have a lobotomy? Are you going to cut off your prefrontal cortex, your most human part of your brain? You are going to lose it if you continue to use the internet like that. It applies to me. I am not out of this group. I am in danger. You are in danger. Your little primitive brain is not ready for this tremendous amount of complex system that tries to take you into this dark forest and destroy your ability to think, decide, plan. It is going to destroy your life. This internet is destroying your motivation system. Your motivation system created for make you a successful person in the nature, in the wild. The motivation system needs to motivate you for exploring the universe, studying the math, building a business, working hard. It needs to motivate you, but it doesn't because of these dopaminergic things. Your mindset is not optimized, your character is not optimized for working hard, but that is another matter. But this matter is really important. Mindset, etc., character creation is another thing, but you are right now getting a lobotomy. You are right now cutting off your prefrontal cortex, your thinking ability. The next generation is lost. The next generation is going to behave like persons who had lobotomy. They are going to have no prefrontal cortex activity. They are going to be like zombies. The next generation, all of them are going to have attention deficit disorder. They are not going to have any attention for productive tasks. They are going to be unable to become successful persons. Attention deficit disorder, ADD, ADHD, is caused by modern times dopaminergic activities, and our motivation system calculates constantly the events, the possibilities, and decides upon the quickest way to highest dopamine. And it decides upon video games, it decides upon TikTok. And not only that, if you consciously decide and try to focus to another thing, your brain is going to block you, your brain is going to distract you, because it doesn't worth your energy accordingly to your motivation system. Your motivation system always watching you and constantly calculating all of the possibilities. You need to make the dopaminergic possibilities impossible for achieving motivation for the boring but productive tasks. You need to feel motivated for working hard, but your motivation system is have TikTok, have video game, and it refuses to give energy to productive, boring tasks that going to make you successful. You need to make dopaminergic activities like video game, TikTok impossible for achieving a healthy motivation system, or you are going to have a lobotomy. You are going to have a prefrontal cortex that doesn't work. Research what happens when your prefrontal cortex doesn't work. Research lobotomy. Research ADD. What is happening? And my final words to you, my friend. Do not use technology without a plan. Do not use technology. You are not ready. Use technology with really limited plan. Plan that. I'm going to research that. I'm going to watch 5 videos about this topic at this time. Make a plan. Calculate the time that you spend on it. Do not play ever. Don't play video games. Never play video games. Maybe once a week with your friends, but with planned. But you are not ready to this. Don't bullshit yourself. You are not ready for this. You are not ready. You haven't created an ego that blocks all of the dopaminergic activities. You haven't created. You haven't gained discipline to set up rules and act accordingly to those rules, no matter what. You need to set rules to yourself and act accordingly to those rules. You need to calculate your time that you spend on internet. All of the people are going through internet. They are using the internet as normal. That is normal, bro. You are exaggerating. From 50 years from now, the future humans are going to talk about us, and they say poor humans. They wasn't aware about the danger, and they all got attention deficit disorder. They all take damage to their prefrontal cortex, and they all fucked. Set rules to your internet usage and don't behave internet usage as normal. Person's internet usage as normal. That is not normal. That is not healthy. That is dangerous. All of the persons are going to the dark forest, even though there are lions I'm going to go. They are going to eat your ass. Be careful. I discovered it, and all of the generation is about to get lobotomy, about to get attention deficit disorder. All of the generation is going to take prefrontal cortex damage, and that is disaster. Be careful, my friend. I warned you. Look at me, Hector. Look at me.